I will remember this week to press go live.
Right, that way.
Oh, yeah, go live. We've gone live, everyone. It's all good. We're live.
Oh,
it's happening.
We were live. Oh, I didn't even see the pop up.
We're happening. It's happening. We're all trying to just. We'll try to just live our lives, you know?
Is this thing on?
Someone's been in here moving things around.
That was me. My mistake when I was trying to scroll down on the iPad.
Right.
An interview
someone's been touching my things, and I don't like it when people touch my things. Hi, everyone. It's us. It's three of us, anyway. Welcome to Uncensored Radio's UCR Live. It's an intimate gathering of just beautiful people today. We're here. We're just living our lives, you know? We're just doing it to it.
I'm here.
Because that's how we do it, and that's how we do it to it. Christina, how are you?
Yes. How are you doing? I'm
doing
wonderful. I am officially on vacation for the next week after today and tomorrow and then all next week. So I'm excited about that. My daughter has all of her supplies for school. That starts on September 4th. So I am way ahead of the game, surprisingly. She has her dress that just got delivered today, her backpack, her lunchbox, everything you can think of. So she's all set there. And then I got nothing going on though. I mean it's
how's your sex life?
Week. Oh.
Oh. Don't ask that. That's not a question to ask, Luke, apparently. Don't go there.
My husband's been sick for a couple of days actually since Sunday.
Oh,
so I mean
Jackie.
I mean,
yeah,
it wasn't
not ideal
either, to be honest. So,
it happens. Shit happens, bro. Shit happens.
You really want to dig into this, Luke? We can have a fucking full-on goddamn hour conversation.
Let's make it around.
Oh my god. I don't think we need to.
Existent, okay?
Look, life gets busy, okay? Life gets busy, and sometimes you forget about that kind of stuff. Luke, you're very white today.
Bullshit excuse.
Well, I am normally very white. I've laid off the fake tan because I want to get nuked again with the lasers. And if you put the fake tan on, you can burn your skin more. So I'm just naturally pale right now. And probably because I'm wearing black, it's contrasting with, look, I'm as white as my pillow. How cute's that? Yeah, look, I've been okay. I've had a pretty good week. I've been busy doing some stuff for this show. I've been training hard.
Then we're going to talk about it in just a second, actually.
I'm not going to blow your money shot. And yeah, but otherwise, no, I'm in a good place. I'm excited about things. There's lots of little fun things coming up. And I'm also in a sexual drought like Christina. So probably by the end of the show, Christina and I are going to be going for it on OnlyFans. And that's just the way we roll.
Okay. What beautiful, beautiful words, everyone. That's really uplifting. The two viewers that were watching just checked out. They're like, no. No, today, thanks. I don't know what it's. Yeah, there are people watching, but this counter's doing that weird thing again where it doesn't want to work. But
it's all right.
Even if nobody watches, we keep going. Sorry?
Did you go live on Instagram?
Oh, I think I pressed the button wrong.
Yeah, you pressed it.
It says I am live. It says I am live.
It says you.
He doesn't
know
live. Okay.
Oh well, who knows?
It's all right.
I
do
don't
put a
know.
bit of pressure on.
We don't know what's going on with Instagram. No, because sometimes Instagram works and sometimes Instagram doesn't work. It's just like a whole big thing. I can't decide whether it's
a lot of our panelists. Hey, sometimes
whole big thing. Well, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And I get what you were going for there. Look, we can try. I can try and fix it, but you guys are just going to need to talk for a second. So can you keep talking? Because
Well,
I
we've
will,
already got over
we'll try and fix
OnlyFans.
it.
Look, Christina,
What was the last time you had sex?
I would
Me?
say Stephen. Me. Look,
Me.
I don't want to be a liar, but I look longer than I can remember. How's that?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Look, and it's not something. Look, and it's mostly because of I'm busy, and it's not something I really want to pursue. I'm more about emotional connections at my ripe old age.
Aw.
Yeah, you know, I've matured finally. You know,
Okay.
most people my age are
Interesting.
probably like married and settled down, you know, in sexless relationships like you, Christina. But
Oh,
I've just chosen to go on a line.
red.
It's so true.
Wow.
Oh my god.
But you know, look, we've got kids as well. Life's busy, man. Like that's really down the lowest on the priority list, right? Like food and shelter become actually very precious resources when you've got children. So
yeah, it's a pretty big priority.
yeah. So yeah, look, I think
we're live now on
every now and
guys.
then.
We're now live on Instagram, just in case anyone was concerned. We've made it happen.
Oh, good on you,
Honestly,
Steve.
I'm refreshing.
I don't know why
and
everyone says
nothing's
you're a
happening.
useless, whip-cracking,
Useless
horrible
bitch.
person.
Yeah, we'll see.
I know, right?
I don't know where.
Go live. Oh, hold on. No, go live. It's every time I press the go live button, it's going live. We're live. Now we're live. Okay.
Oh,
Steve,
there it
you're
is.
My God.
There you go.
So much drama.
Well,
I know.
Steve, actually, I really want to ask you though, how is your love life? Like, you don't share a lot on here. We find that
I don't have a love life, but
overshare.
love it. I don't have a love life, but it doesn't mean that things aren't cooking. It's just
Oh,
you can
so
separate.
it's not a drought for you.
No, God no.
Oh, so you're emotionally
Okay.
Things
disconnected.
are cooking.
I'm just emotionally disconnected about it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to get in, get it done, and move on with your day.
I used
I'm a
to
busy
be that way.
person.
I just can't now. I
I'm a
just can't. I
busy
don't know.
person.
Maybe I've gone through some kind of hormonal change. Who knows?
Look, Pickens, as interesting as this is, I'm sure for everyone. We
I
do
know.
have a
We're
little.
killing.
Luke
We're
and I.
killing the vibe.
Oh my God, Daisy Chavez is watching on Instagram. Hey
God,
Daisy,
why
we gotta get you back on the show, girl. We gotta get you back on the show. Miss Daisy has so much goss on. Daisy is our very lovely friend Katrina A. Johnson's bestie, and she has really good stories about Katrina. So
Can
we have
we
to get
say
Daisy
about
back
one
on.
story about Katrina right now? What she may
Oh.
be doing as we speak?
Oh no, we'll talk to Kitty soon. We'll see what's happening.
Okay.
Not yet. We'll talk to Kitty soon. I'm sure she's got some
She's
stuff.
getting a very pretty
Not yet.
dress that would look nice on
Yeah.
the carpet.
The movie's not out yet. Luke, do you know when Black Creek's coming out?
Black
Do you have a
Creek
date?
is, I think there is a full trailer that is coming in, I want to say October this year, and I think the film will be released by December. Like the full film will be released.
So
by
if you're a
December.
Christina A. Johnson fan, she's coming back to the
Christina A. Johnson.
screens.
Katrina.
I said, did I say Katrina?
You said Christina.
You said Christina.
Christina. Oh, you guys are merging.
Or Don the Dragon.
Hi,
like, you love
Alice.
martial art films.
Hi, Alice
Whoa,
on
thank
Instagram.
you.
Yeah, look, if you like martial arts movies where they're doing like the actual stunts, there's no stunt doubles. It's all real stuff. Katrina's boobs are her real boobs. It's all in there. So check it out at blackcreekmovie.com. That is blackcreekmovie.com.
Luke and I have I guess an announcement, a secret to reveal. We've been toiling in the background with a pretty important guest that we have just sat down with again. So we've been teasing this for a little while, this epic guest, and we have a reveal. Are you ready for this,
I think we are.
folks?
have to
Okay,
be.
here we
I
go.
mean, I'm ready. This is new to me.
Hi, this is Mallory. And I'm Lamb Chuck, and we just love uncensored radio. Come play with us.
Oh yeah, that's right,
oh, wow.
ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Luke and I, and Christina, oh my God, and Katrina A. Johnson sat down last week. Was it last week, Luke? Was it last
It
week?
was last week, and then can we say
Last
what we
week, yeah.
just did as well?
So yeah, we sat down with the lovely Mallory Lewis, daughter of Shari Lewis, of course, and the inimitable Lamb Chop. And we sat down for a quick chat with them. And Mallory had such a good time that she emailed us straight away and said, let's do this again. So we just did again. So we have a double header, 2-part Lamb Chop and Mallory Lewis conversation coming at you for the next 2 Tuesdays. So if you are a fan of Lamb Chop, and who isn't a fan of Lamb Chop? I mean, come on. Who isn't a fan of Lamb Chop? We got chops for days.
Well,
so
Lamb Chop's a fan of
please,
mine now. So
Yes.
Lamb Chop and I are now dating. So sorry.
more
everyone,
on that
I'm
when you
now
watch.
off the
Don't give it
market.
all away. You got to watch the show.
Yeah, sorry, but we're dating. So anyway, you know,
Oh,
Yes,
I always knew I'd
transatlantic
end
love.
up with a sock. That's how it all started. So.
You've come for
So let it-
full circle, literally.
Let it
Yeah.
not be said that we don't move in hurly burly circles. Like, hello, Lamb Chop. That's all I have to say. It was a really
Did the little kid in you
kind
go,
of out of body experience because we chatted to Valerie and then all of a sudden Lamb Chop, and then you can see all 3 of us go. I watched it a little bit back, and everyone's like, "It's Lamb Chop." And
weird
Yeah,
man?
it was-
You talk like you. Lamb Chop is different.
Iconic.
Like, she's not Mallory. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like you just chat to Lamb Chop and she's quick, mate. She's like just straight off the cuff. Knows what to say back.
I want to come for Lamb Chop.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
you
I'm
will.
sure. Well,
I think Lamb
she
Chop.
wants to come back again, so
Yeah.
you never know when the chop will chop. She'll be like coming around. The chop's going to drop next Tuesday, so the first part anyway. So join us then. But this week we got some stuff to talk about. So let's go into this week's
Hot load of hot topics.
Now, to begin with, we had a couple of weeks ago where we made a bit of, a formal statement at the top of the show. I'm about to do it again because this week has been a very busy week on our page. We've had 2 articles that are reaching that kind of viral level again. The first one
I
was
think
the
you need to turn the
King.
comments back on, by the way. I love it.
No, I'm going to explain
Which
why.
one? Okay.
So the El King article, which we talked about on the show last week, Christina, with El King and Rob Schneider and about their relationship.
Yes.
Now
okay.
that post went pretty viral, and because I'm the admin on the page, every time somebody likes it or looks at it, my phone goes off, and my phone did not stop for
You
days.
gotta turn off notifications, Bubba.
Days and days and
Oh,
days.
right.
But because I like to see what's going on, because I like
You
to
like the
know
attention.
what people are saying in the comments.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
the comments section of that article is dark, man. It got
Oh,
real
Really?
dark, real quick about people's body image. My body image, apparently, I have to lay off the Big Macs. About
Oh God, did they say
women,
shit about me? Oh my God.
about No, just about women,
I
about
didn't
Yeah,
read
man.
anything about that. I would just fall
About-
to pieces.
addiction, about
Ellie King's not a
religion.
size 6,
It-
but she's a fat
Yeah,
mole and all that stuff.
yeah. It got real dark real quick because of religion and all that kind of stuff. And I turned off the comments after a week. I gave it a week. I was like, okay, cool. Wasn't enough for some people though. So what's this guy's name? Shane Wilson. Open up the comments, you hypocritical cowards. And I replied straight away to Shane. I said, Shane Wilson, the story is over a week old. There are hundreds of comments and opinions in there, but if you feel you have something revolutionary to add, please have your say in here. That was 2 days ago. So Shane Wilson
Did he come back? Did he clap back?
Come on,
doesn't
Shane.
have the balls to say what he wants to say. I'm not reopening the comments for, and this is okay. The reason I'm not reopening the comments is after a week, the trend was there. Okay, cool. Fat bitch, fat bitch, fat bitch, fat bitch, fat bitch. She's a fat bitch. She's a fat ugly bitch. She's a fat drug addicted fat. Okay, cool. And I'm all about yes. No, but we said this. Uncensored Radio is about opinions. Yeah. There's opinions, and then there's just being an asshole.
Yeah.
And trash.
Right, so
Yes, you
that's
hate.
enough. That's enough. Enough. You know, you don't have to agree with someone, but it doesn't have to turn into a personal attack.
Yeah.
So that's why that article is no longer commentable. You know, so if you don't like that, well, it actually is commentable if you follow our page. So
it's got to be our fans.
it's there.
that's all.
It's not
Be
cut
happy.
off. You can do it. You just have to be man enough to stand up for your beliefs. Follow the page, have your comment, and then unfollow. No one gives a shit. But if you want to come forward and act like, you know, you're the hardest piece of shit in the world, then back it up. All you got to do is press a follow button. Then you can say what you want to say. You know, I don't delete things. No one deletes comments unless they are, you know. I've deleted probably
Threats
2
of
comments in my
murder.
time.
Threats
Yeah,
of murder.
or
you
like-
call upon.
Or like really, really gross, like inappropriate stuff directed at particular people. I have deleted. But your opinion is your opinion. You've just got to back it up. You've got to be, you know, ready to back it up. So,
And if you think you're,
with that
if you
said,
think
I'm going to
you're
move on.
adding- Yeah, I was going to say, if you're someone who thinks you're adding so much substance to a conversation by just calling someone fat, then you know maybe you don't
And
really
it
have much
doesn't-
to say.
Just because I turned off comments does not make us cowardly. Doesn't make us hypocritical. It just means that you have to do your part now. We've presented you with the story. Why should we cater to you even further? If you think your opinion's that valid and that revolutionary, step up. Do it. Like, we're not
He's
bothered.
trying to, but
Hey,
the comments
Buffett,
are
mate.
off. But yeah, I get it.
Well,
The
then, but then that's the thing. They're not off. You just have to follow the page. Like they were open
okay.
slather for a week. Now you have to follow the page to comment on it. So
Oh.
it's not hard. You can do it. It's not. I haven't shut off the comments. You just have to, you know, believe enough in it to follow the page and then unfollow it. Who gives a shit? We've picked up like 30 or 40, 50 followers this week. So
Wow.
it doesn't matter. Follow, unfollow. Now, this is the big conversation piece this week. And Luke, I am going to introduce it because you wrote this article and there are a few criticisms of it. So I'm giving you your chance on the floor. So we are going to talk about the mixed gender fight between Craig Jones and Gabby Garcia. So
It really does look like he's grabbing her face. Like
it really does. Yeah, look, it does. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
it's just the photo though. Like it's so
Yeah.
I'll check her out.
we've had a lot of comments, and that one was bigger. That one was reaching like
It
Matt
was
Rife
shared
levels
ridiculous amounts of
yeah.
times.
It's reaching Matt Rife level, and I turned it off Well, I didn't turn it off. I put it to followers only because, you know, it was getting to that same point as well. When we get over 700 comments on an article, there's not going to be a new opinion. You know? And if you do have a new opinion, you can still have that opinion. No one's stopping you but you. But yeah, so you go. explain a little bit, Luke, what the article
I have to
is.
do my due diligence here. So it was an article about what are their names again? I've already forgotten. Gabby Garcia and the guy.
Craig Jones.
Craig Jones. So Craig Jones is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion. He has like an open invitational every year, and he opened the invitation to Gabby. She accepted the fight. They had the fight. Now, sometimes, guys, we do take news from other news sources because guess what? I didn't watch that fight. So I did take it from another Australian news source who referenced it as an MMA fight, and it wasn't. It was a BJJ fight. So that was incorrect journalism at secondhand from us. So I do apologize for that, but it's really neither here nor there. The whole point of the story was there. People shared their opinions and showed their ugliness like usual. And look, I think it was something that was very interesting and did generate conversation. So I don't make apologies. I do apologize for not doing my due diligence when I repackaged that article, because the headline is literally lifted. I did not change a word in the headline. The article itself I didn't rewrite.
Blame the media outlet, not us. We didn't get it wrong, but we were just
The paid journalist did a bad job. So how do you expect a free one to perform? You know.
And you make a really good point about the comment section. I was like, that's the reason why this show is titled Opinions and A-holes, because there are certainly a lot of them. If you go look in, I can't believe how quickly
a lot of stuff's been politicized now. But yeah, I want to know why there's suddenly like all this trans hate in the comments when this has got nothing to do with that issue.
Got nothing to do with trans hate, and it's turned. Well,
and it's like,
you know exactly.
There. I just read an article about the gay penguin, and I'm going to post the article about the gay penguin on our
do it. That's sad. It's really sad.
And like the first comment there, that's got the most laugh reaction songs to penguins die of AIDS too. Like what the fuck is going on with people? Why? We know, but no. Let's be honest. We know what's going on because there is a cycle, and it's not just America. It's not just America. There is this cycle of misinformation and fear that goes around when things are, you know, something other than the white, straight, heterosexual norm. Look at the AIDS crisis, man. Like, everyone was going to get AIDS if you looked at if you sat on a toilet seat, or if you, done it. It's this shit. It's this shit again. Like it happened to gay people, but gay marriage, all of this shit. And it's just unfiltered hate. And that's what the internet sadly is, because we've given people the right to think that their opinion is fucking, their opinion matters, and that's partly our fault as well. But ours matter, don't they?
I just didn't think that there was this in the modern world. There was that much like hate spewing around, like unfounded, like baseless shit, like drag queens reading to children because we have an agenda, like. No one hates kids more than drag queens.
And I'm sorry, Christina, because I know like this is sort of like leaving you out a little bit. But I fucking hate, just because people know that I'm a gay man, that I obviously have certain political ideologies and I must align myself with this, or I must think like that because I'm a gay man. We're all very fucking different. I'm sorry. Like I have actually bizarrely quite conservative views, even though I'm on this show.
Scarily conservative views.
And I very much march to the beat of my own drummer. Don't fucking come at me about Imani Khalif's gender and shit like I'm suddenly the gospel on it. I don't give a fuck, to be honest. And then to make it personal and attack, it's odd, and I think there's something wrong with a lot of people, and I don't know. Get something.
But
done
do you
about
think
it.
it's because we are constantly getting fed this stream
Yeah,
of like
absolutely.
negativity?
But you get baited. Look, I just saw a post on Facebook about why was Jesus depicted as white, and then I'm like, cue the comment section. Here we go. Like, it's just stuff like you deliberately baiting behavior.
They're
now. I know.
not
Why was he?
that's not true.
But why
you
was
know,
he? But the post is made with a deliberate intention for a shit show, and
yeah.
Yeah.
Look, and people have accused us of that too, when we are just reporting
it's partially
news.
true. Love it.
But it's new. It's news. This is the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not picking things out of the ether and going, I'm going to make this an article, and I'm going to make it matter because it's already out
trending
there.
Stuff. We
Yeah.
very much only really report on a lot of trending stuff unless it's something happening within our little circle, like Katrina's doing something, or whatever's
Yeah.
going on that we've got first-hand knowledge of. Otherwise, it's literally what's trending, because I'm sure Christina's the same where she is in New York, and I'm in bumfuck Queensland. Steve's outside of Sydney. We're not actually on the scene at all this shit,
Yeah,
Like,
no.
we're at our real jobs.
That's the point of our show, is that it's the trickle down effect. It's these big events happen and how it affects different people's from different walks of life and their experience of it. And Vera said it before. Are these people the vocal minority? Like that, feel the need to just go, well, my opinion is this. Like, I don't walk around and get, like, I don't know, maybe it's the people that I associate with, but I don't run into that much negativity all the time.
No.
And you know what? I can get along fine with someone who has really conservative Christian values or big, huge, like, political differences with me. I can still get along with them. And it's like this whole idea, like, if you don't think exactly the same as me, we're enemies. I don't understand that mentality. Like, maybe
let's praise it to Christina, because you don't always agree with what Vera says, and Vera doesn't always agree with what you say. But you guys can still associate. Like, it's not like you hate each other or
I
anything.
respect Vera though, like, and that's what I think is different about being mature or being having a normal brain, I guess. And it's funny because I heard the other day, like, this is like every time I watch this one show on Hulu, it's an FX show, and it says this is intended for a mature audience. And after hearing that hundreds of times, because I'm watching, up to season 5, I thought to myself, nobody is a mature audience anymore. Like, there are no more mature audiences, and where you can watch a show like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and just find the humor in it. And again, me and Vera talking politics and having different views every week. And yet we can still get along. Like, I still respect her as a human being. I still respect her opinion, even though I don't agree with
have each other at the barbecue. Yeah,
we're friends. We've hung out in person. You know what I mean? Like,
share a fucking hamburger with her, like. But and just because 3 of the panelists are gay, it's like that. I don't give a fuck about that. Like, that's not. I'm a Christian woman. Okay, I'm a Christian white woman, but I love my gay boys. Like, so I don't see anything wrong with that. I've never looked at a black person and been like, oh my God, I can't be near them, or been near like a Muslim person and be like, okay, well, I'm glad my personal high, or Spanish.
Anyone who's other to you, like they're a danger. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. Yes. I've never seen the differences, and I know what the differences are, but I've never pointed them out, and I've never made it that I can't talk to this person. Get to know the person. My
biggest argument too is that we're so much more similar. We're all more similar than we are different. Our differences might seem like they're this big, but they're really like that. And we're all very similar. Everyone wants the same stuff in life.
But a lot of it, I think a lot of people are scared to step outside the expectation. And it's not easy. I think if you are someone that is raised, as Tim said before, generational trauma, generational whatever, does have an effect. If you are raised a certain way, it becomes either ingrained as something that you believe in personally or something that you don't want to follow. And a lot of people are scared to step outside of that boundary to make themselves visibly, verbally different from the people around them. And it might not be safe for some people to do so, but it's just, a matter
I want
of,
to talk about my childhood just a
yeah,
little bit. And I
Yeah,
don't want
go
to throw
for
my
it.
mom under the bus or my dad under the bus or anything like that. It's just I was told find a good Italian boy, like all the time. It was a constant finding a good Italian boy. I dated every goddamn color under the sun, every race, ethnicity, and it was, what are you doing with him? Find a good Italian boy. Find a good Italian boy. And now I found a good Italian boy, and my sex life is shit. So it's like, really, like, where are we here? And again, it was like, my mom and in my ear, like, oh, abortion is bad, and don't go out with a black boy, and don't talk to this person, and she's not a good person. My best friend in kindergarten was a black girl. Like, I will never forget that. Her name was Crystal. She was amazing. And it's like, that's how I'm raising my kid. Like, we don't see differences. We see personalities. Like, that's a good person. She's a good friend. Like, he is a good friend. Like, just get to know the person. I hate that everybody is under like a certain
Just to back-
bubble. Like,
yeah. Just to back up what you're saying, because I think there's a lot of issues with the statement, and I'm just trying to further what you're saying. When people say I don't see color, that's not necessarily like what you're trying to say is not that you don't see people, you acknowledge that there is difference, but
right,
it doesn't mean it's you want to be, you want to experience a person
or basing them off of
or I'm not assuming things
about
about their personality from that characteristic. And
we all know that there are stereotypical views of races, religions, gender identity, sexualities, all that kind of thing. But by saying that you don't see that doesn't negate any of it. It doesn't, make the plight of those people any less. What you're trying to say is what you want to identify the person as opposed to the label that you're putting on them. Right?
Yes.
You want to,
exactly. I'm not going to.
Just so we can clarify.
Like you, Jeff, and Luke are the same person. Like that.
No,
or like, again.
We all think very differently about everything.
You're all very different. Like there's certain things. Like
one of my favorite people on this show is Tim. I'm sure Tim and I disagree on heaps of stuff, but I value him. I think he's a top bloke.
Yeah. But honestly, if you want to see, like, I'm supposed to, like, again, I don't want to say I'm supposed to. I'm just gonna say, me and Katie, I can't stand the bitch. Like she drives me nuts. But she's a white girl, right? She's in my age group. Like, why aren't we like best friends? Like, nah, girl, like, nah. But it's like certain people just really rub you the wrong way, and then other people, again, I see what you are, but I'm not judging you because of that.
It's like we don't disrespect each other either. Like, you know what I mean? We don't. Right. We everyone on this show has had issue with someone else before on this show.
Not me.
But we can still be civil with each other, and I think that's something that is missing.
Whenever we get into our screaming matches, at the end of the show, when the live stream ends, everything is perfectly back to normal. It's not. There's no hatred. There's no animosity. Animosity. Oh my god. Exactly. So it's just our differences would never stop me from liking you unless you completely fuck me over and stab me in the back. Like,
or make it into a barrier. Like, some people like to have this division between each other. Like, oh, you're this, so we can't get along, which was what I was going back to earlier. You can't just not want to understand and befriend someone because they think differently to you. That's not a reason to just cut them off, unless there's things there that are, unconsolable that you can't make.
Well, this is a good subject to move on to, because I think that there are two very, very different points of view in the next story, and it baffles me that this happened, but it's quickly gone, so we grabbed it while I could. Did you see the AI generated Taylor Swift post that Donald Trump put up?
Did he really do this? I need to know.
Yeah, he really did.
Yes. Why on earth? It's obvious that he runs that account, because anyone in there, like
anyone with any PR training would go, don't do that. That's illegal.
Of Taylor Swift, most importantly. The biggest stuff, like whether you hate her, whether you love her, whether you're ambivalent towards her, she's the biggest star on the planet. Her whole drive for the last 6 years has been about her public reputation and making sure that she's in control of the narrative. Like she has copyright on her name. Like, why would you think that was a good idea? Because her legal team are going to come after you.
Well, they clearly did, because
you got enough trouble. You got enough trouble. Like, why?
Letter like that. Quicker than probably the first comment.
I was like, of all the people in the world, all the people in the world to go up to think that you can fuck with their image, I'm like,
but can I just say, these kind of shenanigans are completely expected from Trump, right? And it's kind of, I don't know. I find it amusing.
Baby, you don't fuck with the Swifties.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I just think he's.
Have you dealt with Swifties?
He's a professional.
They will come after you.
He loves it. It's good. Look, I think.
But
is it going to work in his? Is it going to work in his favor though?
He knows her following. I'm sure he got the attention of a bunch of her fans as well, right?
Which is scary.
Anyway, I do have to say, he does know what he's doing. He does.
Yeah.
Like,
I just
what
think
do you think about it? In the grand
that's a big bear to poke. I wouldn't fuck with Taylor. Like, that's a big bear to poke. She got a lot of money to throw behind a lot of stuff. It's like, okay,
probably more than him now. Hey,
a lot. Definitely. She's just broken some crazy world record. I saw the like streaming comparisons. It's bizarre, like the domination that she has, but more power. Like, more power to you, girl. But with fame, there's always downsides of fame. Now, I don't. Chapel Roan. If I say the name Chapel Roan, you guys know who I'm talking about. Yeah. Obviously, she has 7 songs in the Billboard 100 at the moment. Now, she has taken to her social media to, I guess, express the downsides of fame. So we're going to have a little watch of it right now and then talk about it.
Questions for a second. If you saw a random woman on the street, would you yell at her from the car window? Would you harass her in public? Would you go up to a random lady and say, "Can I get a photo with you?" And she's like, "No, what the fuck?" And then you get mad at this random lady? Would you be offended if she says no to your time because she has her own time? Would you stalk her family? Would you follow her around? Would you try to dissect her life and bully her online? This is a lady you don't know. And she doesn't know you at all. Would you assume that she's a good person? Assume she's a bad person? Would you assume everything you read about her online is true? I'm a random bitch. You're a random bitch. Just think about that for a second, okay?
So people are citing this as her, and she has said previously that she's really struggling with the momentum of her career. She's gone from zero to nothing. From zero to like one of the biggest names in the world at the moment, and how jarring that is. But it's a double-edged sword, right? He's
Well,
pursued
you got
that
to know the
fame.
game you're getting into, right?
Yeah, right,
You've
exactly.
got to know, and you've got to know that part of that now comes with the responsibility to, hey, people are going to piss you off and come up to you and want photos with you. And you're just going to have to try and respond as appropriately as possible without making damage to the image that you want to portray to make money. So I don't entirely disagree with her. I do believe people do need space and they need some kind of privacy. But once you enter into that realm, it is a lot, and you need to learn to work in it. Amy Jo, who was the Pig Power Ranger, she said on the show even that she was terrified because she didn't realize that show was so popular that they shut down LA, and she almost had panic attacks doing these appearances. But she was never a dick about it. She does them now. That's why people are like, why don't you ever do this Comic Con and that one? Obviously, it's not something that she's really that comfortable with, but she does make the effort when she's up to it. And so I get what this lady's saying, but at the same time, fame comes
I think
with
it
a
comes
price.
down to also the relationship that you set up with your fans, because you look at someone, and I watched a really interesting TikTok about it. You look at someone like Lady Gaga, right? Her fans are her monsters. She, from the beginning of her relationship with fame, she got intimate with her fans. They know her, like there was a separate social media little thing for her. But that was what was good for her. Yeah. Just because that works for her, it's not a universal thing.
Music, and however, she didn't really want the fame with it, but with the fame comes the money and the ability to produce more music, and it's a catch-22.
I think that once you, go, Christina.
I think that, and like you said, it's just something that you have to deal with if you want to become famous and you're on the Billboard charts. What are you not going to get noticed in the street? And I get her point too. Like, I get, like, leave me alone, like, I am just a human being, but girl, you're not just a normal human being anymore. Like, you are a famous singer now, and you do have some sort of responsibility to your fans that just want to take a quick picture of you. And yeah, you don't know them, they don't know you, but they do know you. Like, now they do.
Even if that responsibility, even if that responsibility is, hey, this isn't appropriate at the moment, it's your responsibility to set that boundary
nicely. But look, I guess
there's there's a really
too that people would come up to her just randomly, and then I relayed a story where I saw a famous singer back in her day, and she was standing at the front with her friend at some place, and I didn't go over to her because I felt like that would be rude. It wasn't.
I've seen it on TikTok. I can't remember who it was, but it was someone pretty famous, and they were at a concert themselves. And someone came out and she goes, "Oh, can I have a photo?" She's like, "I'm not taking photos tonight, but let's have a chat. Like, I'm happy to have a chat with you. I'm here with my friends, with my family. This is a night. This is a private night, but I'm happy to have a chat with you and diffuse it that way." There was a really interesting situation. I think it was Anne Hathaway in Italy recently, where she physically stopped people rushing up to her. She says, "I will take a picture with every one of you, but you have to wait. You have to stay back. I will give you the time."
Yeah.
Just like the respect goes both ways. And I think that that's really important to know as well, because we all have people that we are fans of, right? Like despite how, how cool and whatever we want to be, there are people that you genuinely admire and you're a fan of. And they have put themselves forward as, a public figure, as someone that, makes their money off having a fan base. But they are still a person. Like, we all have our bad days. Like, we go to work and we don't want people to talk to us and all that kind of stuff. That happens for everyone. So I think it's really hard. It's a really hard line to walk, because people are going to have an opinion of you whether you like it or not when you become famous. So whether you engage in it is up to you. That's why a lot of people don't run their own social media. Yeah.
I actually also heard on the radio that she was pitched 3 or 4 movie ideas, to be just an extra or whatever, a part in the movie, right? And she turned down everything. She said that she thinks that movie producers and movie people in that industry are corrupt. And she said that she doesn't want to have anything to do with it. She just wants to focus on singing, and that's it. And so now I'm kind of seeing her side of things. Like, she's more of a private girl, and that's fine. Like Sia, right?
Yeah.
Like Sia was like,
And she
under
said,
her
yeah,
wing
she,
for how long? Before she
that
was
Chapel Road is a project, so she can separate herself from that character,
Yeah,
which I
clearly,
think is
because
what
if you see her
Lady
album-
Gaga came out as Lady Gaga, and it's taken
Mhm.
people a lot to separate her. Like but she's still Lady Gaga. You know what I mean? In a movie,
Yeah.
it's not Stephanie Germanotta; it's Lady Gaga.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
I don't know. Sometimes you're successful with it, sometimes you're not. It's hard.
yeah.
It's hard, but life
Poor
is hard
girl,
all
though.
around.
How old is she?
I think she's early 20s,
young.
so it's a hard
Yeah.
time to,
Yeah, right.
She's a
Yeah,
baby.
yeah.
and it is hard to when you're someone that's been plugging away doing music for a long time. She's been doing music for a long time, just to have that sudden bolt, and then everyone's obsessed with it. Like it's just like launching yourself on a rocket ship to the bloody moon. But there are people that are very used to, this kind of lifestyle, like these two. Angelina and Brad are, in the middle of a very bitter divorce, but there is extreme measures going to keep them apart. They're both due at a film festival, and they have literally spaced the films out days apart so they will not cross paths.
They won't even be in the continent together.
They won't even be on the same country. Like that's how specific.
And like drop
That
off
it's-
for these kids. Are they old enough to
Well,
drive?
they-
I don't
yeah.
even know how old their kids are now.
A lot of the
Oh, they
kids
have
are with the
nannies
kids.
to handle.
Angelina has custody of the children, and there's a big negotiation thing going on. That's why Shiloh has changed her name to Charlotte. She's a legal adult now. To Shiloh Jolie. She's no longer a pit. She's,
Oh.
she has decided to terminate that relationship with her father as an adult. And
What did he
again,
do?
it harks back. Well, he allegedly, and he does acknowledge he had a very difficult relationship with alcohol to the point of violence, allegedly.
Yeah.
So, we can't comment on we can comment on the outside view, but we didn't grow up in that house. You don't know.
Yeah.
And if unless you're behind those doors, you don't know. But someone else, there's another couple that,
Mhm.
I don't know. I think everyone wanted the best, but everyone smelt it coming, right? Like
So
Jennifer
what are we calling
Lopez,
them?
Ben Affleck.
Yeah, are we calling him
They
Benefit
are-
still, or
Well, no, they're done. Well, they're done. It's over. They're
Oh, what?
divorcing. Bennifer.
Again.
They used to be Bennifer. Remember they used to be
so this is
Bennifer
their
back in the
second
day?
divorce?
No, this is their first divorce
They
because they
didn't-
never
they
actually
weren't
married
married
the
last
first
time.
time. They
Okay.
were engaged.
Oh wow.
Because that was
Yeah.
my comment earlier. It's like, is this normal behavior for people in their 50s? And someone's like, what, having a divorce?
But this
or
is
something?
this
And
is
I'm like,
another one. This is a topic that's starting to go off now because people are getting involved in it. Because Luke, we've been having this conversation off air, Luke. You're saying, "Oh, I'm old. I want this now." Blah 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 blah.
I'll set it on air too.
Yeah, but can that not be true for celebrities as well? You know what I mean? Like,
Of course
everyone's
it
like, "Oh,
is.
she's been married so many times." I was like, "Yeah, but she might not." People are like, "Well,
it's
she's
good for
obviously
her for
she's
trying
obviously
so
the
many
problem."
times.
And you know what? Yeah, good for her for not shutting down and going, "Well, I'm never going to
Yeah.
try and find love again."
She's
And they
looking for
obviously
love.
have some kind of to come back 20 years later to the person that you had bitterly broken up with
Yeah.
and try it
Oh,
again and
obviously
obviously
there's
rekindle the
a lot
spark
there.
that's there. It's just, I feel
I was
like
going
if
to
they
say, like,
were
did you see the documentary? Like, did you watch that?
well, you
whole
watched
thing?
it, right? You watched it, right?
Me
Yeah.
and Jeff watched it, yes. So, like, when we saw it, I actually thought to myself, like, wow, they get along pretty well. Like, Ben was recording everything that was in the house. Like, that was him behind the camera. And, like, that's what kind of threw me off. Like, they were so close, or they looked so close. And they communicated really well. Like, it really was, like, a good friendship. And then there's, like, candid footage of him like consoling her because she had a really long day on the set, and like she's literally on top of him, and like he's just like holding her, and it's just like, again, just one of those things like, wow, like he really cared. Like I thought, again, this is what I'm thinking, but you know, this is snippets and this is camera, and I get it, like for the show, whatever, but you know, it painted a better picture than what you thought was actually going on.
But he's always said that her level of fame is the crux of the relationship, is that people see her so differently to, you know, anyone else, and they do. Like, people, I don't know, people seem to really want to see her fail.
Yeah, right.
I've noticed lately they're like the album underperformed, her tour got cancelled, she's getting a divorce. Everyone's like, yeah, awesome, like that's great. I'm like, but where does that come? Where does that come from? Where does that come from? Like, because like 10 years ago, everyone was like Jennifer Lopez, yes, right, like. I just don't, like, I don't want to see the debt. Like, and yes, allegedly she's quite demanding. You know, she's quite demanding. She could be a shitty person, but still, you know, like wish and ill on people. And that relationship, I can't believe it was 2 years ago that they got to, like. I remember reporting on like them getting back together like it was yesterday. It was 2 years ago. Where has our life gone? Kind of like when they got back together, it was kind of like, I don't know, that there was, you know, hope for that that kind of rekindled relationship. We all have that one or, you know, those relationships where you're like, I wonder, you know, no, not, and I'm not saying, but like it might not have been a relationship. It just might have been a person that you met once that you had a little thing. You're like, I wonder, however many years later, when you grow up and you're all different people, if something, you know, we all have that, I think, somewhere in us. And
I met my husband back in high school. We lost touch for over 10 years. And then when we met again, he never left me alone after that. So it just happened.
He never left me alone. I love it. He still doesn't leave me alone. Well, no one wants to root when you're sick. Come on, that's gross. But I think there is something that unites. There's something that unites the three of us and like everyone on the panel, is that we grew up as students, and you know, what am I trying to say? Oh my God, I can't speak today. It's very rare. We grew up under the tutelage of some very important figures, and one of them passed away this week. Phil Donahue died, guys.
Yeah,
Donahue.
Now, I vaguely recall his show. Was it very similar to Jerry Springer or a little bit tame?
No, well, Donahue, Phil had some more serious. Jerry's was, let's be honest, Jerry's gone, R.I.P. Jerry. But Jerry's show started out authentic and then became a scripted mess that, you know, was staged.
So I remember on Donahue, they did have like KKK and stuff. Like they bring in these.
But it was more like
make conversation
reality based. It was actually a talk show. It was one of those mega powerhouse talk shows. Phil Donahue, Sally Jessy Raphael, Oprah. It was like that generation where daytime talk was huge.
Ricky Lake.
Yeah, Ricky Lake. Yeah, the only person that's still standing really is Oprah. Like she's still doing that kind of thing. She's still interviewing. She on the own network. Well, she does that.
Yeah,
she does specials. You know, Barbara Walters is gone. Phil's gone. Sally's gone. Like it's like, well, it's another generation slipping away. Ricky Lake's still popping around. I see her on social media every now and then. Go, whoa, chicka-boom. RIP Phil. It's just like every couple of days. It's just a reminder that you're old. We're getting older.
We're next.
We're all gonna die. It's like we're next. Well, what a great segue. We're next because Netflix is chasing another hit, y'all. I think all of us watched Dharma, right? Or at least some of Dharma on Netflix.
Do I look like him?
Yeah. So
the original, not
the next The next installment has been announced.
Oh,
Monsters.
I'm
looks
excited.
fun.
The Lyle and Eric Menendez
Now,
story.
didn't they only kill
is-
one person?
They killed their
Or their
parents.
parents.
Both of the
Yeah.
parents.
Yeah, they killed their parents, but there's not going to be like lots of death that's going to stretch out over 8 episodes.
No,
How
because
are
it's
they
going
gonna
to
do this?
what it is going to be this will, and it always has been with the Menendez case. It's going to be about the trial, because the truth of the Menendez trial is still so up in the air. They allege that their father was physically and sexually abusive. I don't know that there's ever
I
really
believe that.
proof of. I don't know if there's proof of the sexual abuse. I would definitely
But
believe
what is proof?
the physical and the mental. Yeah, exactly. But that's what but we're not playing emotional truth here. We're talking legal proof,
Mm.
Right.
Is there a
Like,
police report? Is
understand
there a
that.
doctor's report? Because that's what to cycle back, that's what OJ Simpson was about, right? There was not enough
Well, the
physical
clones are
evidence,
bullshit.
proof to
Yeah.
that's why he got acquitted. So there is not enough physical proof for people to
You
look
say
at and
OJ
go,
was guilty?
these people are not. Of course he was. These people, they're in jail. Do you know what I mean? They are in jail for these crimes.
I can't. I'm leaving.
No one's pretending that OJ didn't
God.
kill those people. Come on, let's. In this day and age, I mean, come on.
I mean, really,
But-
Luke, he's a black man. What do you expect? I'm kidding.
No, the fact that he had
that was
like
real.
blood on him and stuff, but whatever. I don't think innocent people
Little bit
run.
of evidence.
That's just me. I don't think innocent people run on and to that level of having a mass car chase after you and it being reported worldwide. Innocent people don't
And
run
Hash
like
tried
that.
to have one. Her
Yeah,
car
I don't know what she was.
Oh,
She was trying to outrun, but
man.
she was
But
unsuccessful.
Oh man.
I just don't. I agree with
Shit.
Luke. There are so many other horrible stories that like Dharma was very disturbing to watch, and
Yeah.
they had I thought for sure when we saw John Wayne Gacy that we're gonna have Gacy, but no,
I thought
Eric and Lyle
Dharma really
Menendez.
portrayed just the whole thing and the awfulness of it, and also how fucked up he was. Like, I think they've done a great job. So, look, I am excited to see this. I think it'll be done very
Yeah.
well.
I don't know who
I
it'll
don't
be
really
as
love a lot
epic.
of court drama, like in the SVU episodes. I prefer, when they get the bodies out of the barrel rather than the court case after. But that's just me.
That's just me.
It's just me.
But it was
I
like a
know.
brutal murder, right? And they claimed that they didn't do it right at first,
Yeah,
right? It was
no.
like a whole big thing, like
Yep.
somebody had
Yeah.
burglarized the house or some shit, right?
Yeah,
I
someone had
remember this
broken in
whole
and murdered
story.
their parents.
Why is this a ticker?
Yeah.
I don't know who did that.
I
That was probably Jeffrey Emmett when he was on the
Jeffrey,
laptop, I
it
would
was probably
imagine.
Jeff. Yeah, I was gonna say.
That was probably that. But before we leave, guys, I have something for you. It's going to be a celebrity version, though, of what the.
Version.
So a celebrity version. Are you? If you've been lurking around the TikToker sphere, you will have seen this one too. It's interesting. Here we go.
Oh,
What it is,
loading
I
up
need
the
help.
video. You really
Oh,
got
shit.
it beyond.
I just bit into it because I was on the street and we were discussing whether this was a tomato or not. It's definitely not, because look at these leaves. Those are the leaves. So what the heck is this? Because when you open it up, it looks like that. And if I bite it, I don't think you're supposed to eat this. It's almost like a pepper.
Why are you eating
Does
it?
anyone know what this is? I don't know what it is. I need someone
Why
to
is
tell
she
me. I'm in
pulling him off
England.
someone's random garden?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Why
that
should
is
you put him
the
off
question.
someone's garden?
That's the question that a lot of people are asking. Did Alicia Silverstone just unwittingly poison herself live on TikTok because she's not even in her own country? She's in London. walking around,
Oh,
Someone's
okay.
eating
plant.
something, just eating a plant. Like
So she did post after that, Steve. She said, "It's okay, guys. I'm alive. I didn't swallow."
It's alive. But in what universe?
That's great.
In what universe do you put like that's one of the things you learn as a kid. You don't put random shit in your mouth.
Well, okay. As like another white girl, if I'm walking across, like if I'm coming across like okay, and you saw the sidewalk was covered in whatever the fuck those things were. So obviously, squirrels, animals, people have attempted to pick them off, and I saw like a couple on the street. So I have to say, like, I don't judge you for trying one, but yeah, like, I mean, you didn't know what it was, like, and I do have to say, like, we have there's a cherry tree across the street. Like, people eat cherry trees off the cherry, like cherries off the cherry tree.
Know it's a cherry.
Walking, like, yeah, but like, I mean, picking something because that did look like a tomato, right?
It looks like a
maybe
chili
it's like a
kind of
London
as well.
tomato.
What was it? Did we ever find out?
It's some kind of pepper that can be poisonous, apparently. That people are saying. So
Oh,
It looked pretty.
what
maybe
kind of
people put it out
fucking
for a reason?
what kind of fucking
Yeah.
hunter forager lifestyle is Alicia Silverstone? I'm gonna eat street fruit. Like I don't
Street.
know.
It was in somebody's garden.
It was in somebody's garden, hanging into the street.
Yeah.
True. I just want
Through the
Yeah,
roof.
hanging into the street.
Through the
Now it's
fence.
mine.
Why are you taking shit from people's gardens? To start with, Alicia Silverstone, you're a movie star.
Honestly, Steve, if you saw Alicia Silverstone
like
taking
that.
an apple from your tree, what would you say? I'd be
I'd
like,
be like,
bitch, come
whatever.
over and have lunch. Like, what are you doing? Like,
I'm like,
let's do
you're a
this.
virgin.
As
You
if.
can't drive.
I date
Yeah,
That's what I
exactly.
would say.
Like, if she wants a pear, give her a fucking pear. You know, like anything you want. I have a pear
Have
and
what
an
she
apple
wants,
tree.
but at least know what it
Come on
is
over.
before you put it in your mouth.
Well,
Nah,
I don't
do
know.
you know every time?
Steve, you put things in your mouth before.
I was gonna say I
I
put
was
worse
gonna
things in
say,
my
do
mouth,
you know
but
where
you know,
everything comes from that you put in your
I
mouth?
can go have a
'Cause,
blood.
girl,
I can go have a
haven't.
blood test and find out if everything's okay. Though that's very very brave of her. Let's put it that way. I'm not that brave. I would just eat random red fruit. That's all good. Like is
It
it
did
red?
look like a tomato.
Is it, and in nature, isn't red a danger color? Like you see, like animals with red on them. That's the sign. Like the nature's adaptation for red is danger. Don't come near me.
Like come up as blood, and they were like prey.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, go watch some nature documentaries.
We might have to watch some.
Although I do have to say, after eating the first one and it not being a tomato, why would you? Then
Why would you go back
and
for a
grab,
second?
like, an orange
Why would
one
you go back again?
and be like,
Double dose
"What's
yourself.
this done?" Like that was stupid. Like I would have been like,
Yeah.
"Okay,
It's
one
like
and done."
burning.
Like we're done here.
Yeah, it's very Ralph Wiggum. She's eating the
Like,
purple
excuse me, like,
berries,
guys, I'm not sure what this is.
but I'm gonna put it in my mouth anyway. Who knows? But we have reached the end of it. Obviously, we don't have Vera today because she's at the DNC with her lovely sister Dia. They're having a time and a half over there. Not Christina's kind of party, but it's a party nonetheless. So you go crazy, girls. You have a good time. We will be back next week. We'll be back with a fresh serving of lamb chop for everyone.
Mhm.
And then we'll be back on Thursday again to deal
Nice.
with the rest of the poo-poo that is going to be flung at us this week. Who knows what we'll be talking about?
Gay penguins.
Gay penguins. But, we will always have something to say about it. So thank you, Christina. Thank you, Luke. Gay penguins. And we will see you all again next week on Uncensored Radio's UCR Live. Keep it classy, folks. Bye. forgot to press end stream again.